This segment is brought to you by Cypress Stop, home of the happy customer.
Hey everybody, welcome into Bayou Time. Harry McCullough here. You know, October, great weather, great time to get out and get a little exercise in. And if you're looking for a great way to get some exercise in for a great cause, October 11th, this will be at the Bayou Country Sports Park, 8 a.m. It's a 3K breast cancer walk. It's put on by the Sisters of Strength and Knowledge. Again, that'll be October 11th. And 8 a.m., it's about a mile, a little bit, maybe a little more of a mile for your 3K to get it done. If you want to participate, of course, you can scan all of those codes there to pay and get in. You can also contact Sheena Henry at 678-357-1072, or you catch them on their email, their Gmail account. Let's welcome in Sheena as well. Sheena Henry is the founder of the club. Thanks so much for being here, as well as Dr. Gail Thomas, who's an advisor, and Chantel Townsend is the treasurer. Ladies, thanks so much for joining us. Sheena, let's start with the event. This is the third annual.
Yes.
Why did y'all start this event?
We started this breast cancer walk because we needed something to educate women more, and to not only educate with them, engage with them so we can empower them to feel safe to go get a mammogram. Because there's a lot of women still afraid to have a mammogram. And also the importance of a self-breast exam is so important because just to make a short story, I'll give you a short story. My sister-in-law, my husband's only sister, was diagnosed with breast cancer, triple negative breast cancer. She had a mammogram that May, and by June, the mammogram was clear, but by June, she found a knot, a mass, and it had metastasized. So she didn't live a year after that was found. So we found that there are a lot of women like that, and we want to make sure that they know that we're here to help them and to walk with them through this process. And so with the funds we get from the 3K walk, we assist women that are going through chemo, because, you know, that can be a financial burden, emotional, physical. So we try to help them with needs that they have. We try to bring a little bit of light to a dark situation. And we found that the first year, you know, I think we found 2 women that came out that were diagnosed afterwards with breast cancer. Last year, we had a 34-year-old that was diagnosed with breast cancer, and now she has mets, and we blessed her. So the purpose of this walk is to bless women in our community and to help them and let them know they don't have to fight alone.
Right.
We are there to support them.
Somebody fighting and walking alongside you.
Exactly.
Yeah, and the camaraderie there as well. Dr. Gail, same, you're an advisor, but what drew you to joining up with this group?
Well, early on with the group, like we started off as just a group hanging out, and then Sheena had a vision that we attended a breast cancer walk. And then one day she said, I think I want to do a walk. Are y'all in? And we were like, sure. Chantel and I are breast cancer survivors. And like she mentioned, early detection was very important for me. On the year of my first annual exam, I was detected and I was breast cancer. I had breast cancer, not knowingly that I was just following the routine, a guidance of doctor of attending my first appointment, and I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And so I was thankful that I did follow the advice of the doctors to get it done, because I was able to detect it early in an early stage. And like Sheena mentioned, not too many people are as fortunate to be detected early enough to have, you know, a chance to fight or have a good fight at least.
You were 40?
I was 40 years old, my first exam, and I got the phone call that I had breast cancer, and I was completely in shock.
Sure.
Yes, but early detection saved my life.
Yeah. And Chantel, you were sharing, you were 39?
I was 39
So,
when I was first diagnosed.
It just, I guess that's something you really need to stay on top of and,
Yes, sir.
and get going. So obviously screening is important, but also self-examination, those kind of things as well, right?
Yes, sir. I was 39 when I was first detected, and I was diagnosed because I had a paternal and maternal history of breast cancer. So my doctor decided, let's do a mammogram now. That one was detected on the mammogram. 16 years later, I had a mammogram in August. That mammogram was clear. But in February, I found another lump, a lump, not another lump, the lump. And I was diagnosed with triple negative breast cancer that was 98% aggressive. So it was moving very fast, very fast. So self-breast exam one time and mammogram one time. Wow. So it's important to do both.
How important? I know there's the BRCA gene that is something that's genetic, but testing, I guess, is the number one thing. Lifestyle. What else do you change? And can you tell me about that? What else do you change as far as lifestyle?
I would say education and awareness, and with a certain, like our group, there's other groups that get together annually, educate people, awareness, making sure that they have early detection, getting their exams. A lot of groups participate. I'm in a sorority, Zeta Phi Beta, and we have a Power of She initiative where we do it as part of our campaign that we do all the time of helping women be aware, because some people are afraid. And just to offer support, I'm offering for the month of October free support for caretakers and for people who are going through breast cancer counseling. I'm a professional counselor. So it's free support group meetings with SSK, and the people that we educate and bring on to us, they have access to free support.
Okay. I want to follow up on people being afraid. That's something I hadn't heard about that, but we'll also talk more about the walk. So let's take a break. We'll be right back with more Bayou Time right after this.
This segment was brought to you by Cypress Stop, home of the happy customer.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. Harry McCullough here. The Sisters of Strength and Knowledge will be having a 3K breast cancer walk. That'll be October the 11th. That is 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. It'll be at the Bayou Country Sports Park. You see all the information you need there. Here we have Sheena Henry is the founder and president. And we talked to Chantel Townsend, but we are now joined by Geraldine Duplantis. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
She's the fitness advisor, so
I'm the fitness.
you're stretching everybody out before we start and do all that. But I wanted to follow up on what we were talking about earlier. And Sheena, we were saying people are scared to maybe go get a mammogram. I don't get that. What's going on there?
Well, I think it's due to lack of knowledge. And that's the purpose of this walk. We want to educate women and men on the reason and the purpose of having a mammogram if needed, and a self-breast exam. Men can get breast cancer. Men can find a lump. And, if you wait and wait and wait, sometimes you wait too long. But early detection is the key to survival. So when we talk to women about being afraid, we have to explain that to them. Early detection can save your life. You do what you have to do to survive. And most of the time, most of the women I've spoken to is the lack of education on why it's important to have a mammogram.
Sure.
And sometimes they have had the paternal and maternal history, but they refuse to go and have a mammogram.
Sure.
Well, we had a couple of them that came to the walk and saw the importance of it by listening to women like Chantel and other survivors, and they felt encouraged. And so they were able to go and get a mammogram, or some of them said, well, I can't afford it. Where with Mary Bird Perkins, we recommend them to go there and other places that they can at least have a mammogram. But we taught them, we teach about self-breast exam as well.
Sure. I know it's a stupid question, but for men, you said 3% of breast cancer.
Well, the American Cancer.
How do you do a mammogram on a man? Or do you? I don't know.
Well, most of the time, I think they do ultrasounds on men.
All right.
Yeah, depending.
I told you I didn't know what I was talking about. Okay, so
They're
that's
probably
what
doing ultrasound on a man, but it's important for. And at the walk, we talk about that, the comparisons of of our breast and what they should look like. They're not twins; they're sisters. So one is always going to be a little slightly larger than the other one. But there's also some other things you need to pay attention to. Is one nipple inverted or both nipples inverted? When you raise your arm, does one move or does both move? So those simple things like that we go over at the walk, and a lot of people didn't know that.
Yeah.
They never. It's always good to know a baseline of your body. So when you go to the doctor, you can explain it to them. Well, 5 years ago, it wasn't like this.
Right.
You know, everything seemed normal, but now I have a lot of swelling, and or my nipple is inverted, or I'm having drainage from that nipple.
Right,
So
and as you guys were talking, it can happen fast. You
It can happen
you don't,
fast,
and then the next thing
yes.
you know. Hey, Geraldine, let's talk a little bit about the walk in general. That you know exercise is a great way to keep everybody in better health anyway.
Yeah,
So-
to basically get the crowd moving, get them stretched out before they actually just take off walking, so they won't hurt themselves. Some people will just say, well, I'm not going to walk it, I'm going to run it, and they can pull something. But as women, you know, we look at our bodies. I know that I definitely look at my body being a fitness instructor, and I know that if something doesn't look right, then I'm going to go to the doctor. You know, there's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. Early detection is the key. No one wants to hear that they have the big C word. I remember one time I got a call from my doctor and said that your mammogram came back abnormal. We're going to need you to come back in. We're going to get you in a couple of months. And I was like, oh, no, not a couple of months. You're going to get me in this week.
Right.
You know, that's what I said. And come to find out, I had put deodorant on, and I wasn't supposed to, and I didn't know. And that was the culprit. It was the deodorant. So
Right.
I was cleared.
Yeah.
So that's
it is funny. Those mammograms can going from 2D to
Yes.
3D to 4D
Yes.
now. Can also find things that maybe are just normal, but now you
Right.
see them differently.
Yeah.
So that's always important as well. Chantel, your life after having twice, what is your day to day now? How do you maintain and all that as far as your recovery there?
Well, of course, I follow up with my physicians, follow their recommendations. I had the bilateral mastectomy the second time. So, of course, the breast is not the issue with me anymore, but I still worry about other parts of my body because although you've had breast cancer, you've gotten rid of the breast tissue, but it can come back in other places. So I follow up with them, follow up with blood work, and just make sure that everything, all the numbers fall where they're supposed to. And just keep.
So that's the big thing. So again, don't just ignore it, think it's going to
Yes.
go away.
Yes.
So again, let's talk a little bit about the race, Sheena, and what else is going to go on that day?
Well, one, we're going to have Ellender dancers are going to be there. We have a DJ. We're going to have a lot of vendors there. Actually, we have Halo medical wigs for women that are going through chemo. They're going to be out there showing them and advertising what they can do. We have Face by Lacey is going to be actually doing makeup for the ladies that are actually going through chemo and are breast cancer survivors. So we have a lot of different vendors that are going to be there to support us, and it's going to help the women with their self-esteem.
So they can contact you again.
They can contact me at 678-357-1072.
Well, guys, great. The Sisters of Strength and Knowledge. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Y'all have a great
Yes.
walk on the 11th.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, we'll be right back with more Bite Time right after this.
This segment was brought to you by South Louisiana Bank. It's better when we bank together.